Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Amalfi, which we have saved Italy from being conquered by the Aghlabi Sultanate, even though the Papal States and Croatia played a big part in that role. But certainly some of our bravest sacrifices came from the little Republic of Amalfi, especially when enemy forces came to Amalfi itself, not to occupy, but to destroy us as military force. Even with the defense of the two retinues I see from the House of Apolcarios and Maros, which are both Greek origin. So they used the Cataphract retinue, which is much appreciated. And from what we've learned on that lesson of war is that is the use of this retinue here. It's like, yeah, you can have the Cataphracts, but we will get knights. That's what we've learned as of late. It's great for the defense. But they're expensive in terms of upkeep and all that, but we can afford it now. And speaking of affordability, the war changed me. Look at me. I've been disfigured. Yeah, the guy who was a criminal from the very beginning, who did a lot of crimes to get any money by any means. But the one thing I can't deny is that defending Italia is more important, because if we wanted to survive as a people, as a culture, so I had to fight, and I made many sacrifices, one of which is my face. Yeah, took a spear to the face. Out of it. Yeah. And it's possible that I may die either by my wounds or the gout, but at least the war was over. At least I survived the war, but probably not the wounds. So I'd rather be focused on family. It's healthy that way. So I hope you want some respect from me, as well as everybody else. No thanks to some of you, but I understand. Save up whatever points you can. You may want to use it for Acera. What the hell are you still doing here? After all this time? Yeah. Yeah. I used to be just, but not anymore. We got rid of the piracy operation, and now, well, we're gonna start it again. I need money. Going back to piracy. I don't have time to write a book anymore. Could repay the loan to the Jews, but for future reference, for the defense of the nation, get me the knight retinue. Cost of 800. Jiminy Christmas, they do cost much. Time. So they'll be positioned here. So now you see the difference. Greek Cataphract and Langobardi Knight. Because for the Knights they only get heavy cavalry and light cavalry, whereas for them they get heavy cavalry and horse archers. Serene Grace. Also telling everybody to stop with the plots, just drop it. And I will observe Lent every year. I promise. Because I want to get this fat off of me. Tired of this. Ever since the Battle of Gravina here, I find it hard to be near my children for the fear of being sent away again. Cannot stand the thought of us losing each other. This distance is better. Surely it is better. You know, knowing him, and despite the fact that he's a family man and all that, you know what, I need a vacation. I'll just say enough of these feelings. I'll punch someone, by God. I become stressed, but do not worry. I will go out on seek some rest. I did say I would love to have a rest after the war, and I'm gonna get it. Who shall be the designated regent? Oh, of course, her, the genius one. Yes, I remember. She'll take care of things while I'm gone. Just want to go away for a while. You can't observe Lent while you are away, right? It doesn't say incapable, but go ahead. Yeah, it does not say anything about is not incapable. Because that's what it is when you are resting to get rid of your stress. Just don't want to deteriorate my health further. What's going on? Oh, peasant revolt. Should you thought something better? No, they got it. Hey! Lent! Every year I get a chance to get rid of fact. So I don't pick up on, I don't know, that obese modifier. Died unable to carry their own massive frame because he was a giant. Forgive me, Father. March 20th. Poor intelligence and customers calls my pirate flotillist. Well, it's about time to improve. As Doge, I'm faced with a proposal by the other Fudge families to cut a significant part of the taxes charged to my vassals in order to fuel the economy of the Republic. Also, the increased competitiveness will hamper my efforts of taxation over property as other families claim. This behavior only befits a good Doge. Well, I'm not expected to live the next 5 years, but I will cut down on the tax for the Republic. Taxes will be lowered. He's risen. Imperial revolt. Independence! And you are winning. Most of the Italian-speaking areas wants independence. I'd support you for it, but who knows? Where did he get that? Oh, I know. Han Chinese. That's why the Eastern face. But anyways, hope you win, because sizable force you got versus... There's a chance. If they go independent, I'd be very happy, because we Italians got to stick together. Even though you're all of different cultures. You know, Greco, Longobards, Burins, Tuscans, Lombards, Venetians. Even Caratanians want out of there. If I was you, I would give you financial aid. Lend funds to this character. will be presented different values to lend a yearly return ask. I will be paid a yearly sum for 10 years, and the whole will cover by problem. The lump sum you'll have to beware that the treasury goes below zero and dies on it. I will not be paid. There's a difference between borrowing and lending. The first step in developing a proposal to lend money is done. I'll offer him 100. So, being as the next 10 years. Again, never done this before. Lump sum paid per year is 15 gold. Just giving you financial aid for your little revolution. After what seems like forever, the wound from my maiming has completely healed. Well, I survived once again, but I'm still resting. And my next treatment won't come in 10 years. Don't, excuse me, 12, God bless it, 2 years. The Emperor's been assassinated. That could further complicate things. New Emperor means new problems for them. Because he had a recent succession. So not all levies will contribute while the revolutionaries want out of there. No, thank you. Grand Principality of Crimea. My law is harsh and merciless, and as order is kept by exemplary and creative punishment across my domain. The ear spreading for rumors? Nay, in my territories, the price for a minor crime is immediately at hand, as it should be. Sometimes my strictness brings restlessness to my province. That's because of my cruelty. I received a note that he has accepted a loan proposal I made. It's time to make a gold available. This is why we have a smuggler operation and a piracy operation. This is more sources of revenue. Huh? What happened? They did it. They've won the independence. Alright. But keep in mind, there's still some loyalists in that part of Italy that belongs to the HRE, but that one's gonna be... It's good to see Apulia independent again. Independent from Byzantine and HRE ambitions. Regionalism! That's all I gotta say. But the vast majority of them are Lombards. Where's that man that led him to victory? Actually, look at him. It was this man from Savannah, a Frenchman, living in Tuscan lands. Don't try to introduce that French culture there. You should become Tuscan. And would you look at this? The Republic of Genoa has also become independent. Interesting. That means we could fight wars against them if I want to seize their trade posts. But he has a lot of money, so he'll be bringing mercenaries. So that means the HRE cannot help him out. Plus that guy is a lunatic and all that. So now the question is, how much land would they have if they want to create a new Kingdom of Italy? And does anybody care about getting Apulia back? No, nobody does except for the Holy Roman Emperor. There's a bunch of counts and countesses that we know of, which I'm sure one day they will convert to that local culture. And of course you can't forget the these Carantanians who've also gained independence. And Verona. This is a new Italy. Although some of the old areas, such as this area of the Duchy of Siena, the Emperor might want that back, but one day you will be free from HRE tyranny. But as long as they have a connection to the coast, well, I don't know about that. They're kind of separated right now. So except for the northernmost parts of Italy, will still be under HRE control. Proud to be an Italian. You hear that sound? That means someone leveled it up to level 4. Okay, that wasn't the Apostolic Palace. Was it, Theodosian Walls? Yes, it was that. Stage 4 of the Theodosian Walls is complete. Guard storms Michael. My liege, I failed you. One of your artifacts gone missing. Totemark to Sergio Salveria. Made off one of my artifacts. Damn him. What did he steal? Saint's fingerbone. That belonged to my father. You son of a beeswax. When I get back from my vacation of resting and relaxation, I am going to get that finger back. He's got a reliable lockpick. Do we now have a treasury? Son of a beeswax, we never had one. That's how it got off that easy. Should get your betrothed very soon, because the age of 14 is the age you get married, so. I like the quick trait that I see right there. Oh, that's from the Papal Lands. Okay. Because we got a winner right here. But she's 22, so probably want to rethink that. Maybe a non-aggression pact with Genoa so they don't attack us and take our trade posts. Sounds ideal. Well, anyways, anyone else? Okay, this one might be a winner. What's your education going to be? 14. Doesn't say. Doesn't say what education she's receiving, but that would be for the non-aggression pact for another lordship of Monza. That's way up there. Can you imagine having... Well, I'm not saying quick, but we'll have a bunch of genius children, or quick children. We'll have smart children. Yeah. I can see that. Anyways, any other suggestions? Ambidextrous seems fine. Again, potential, not guaranteed. Or someone who is perceptive and ambidextrous. Non-aggressive pact with another lord. Palestrina. I know where that is. That's in Venice. I think. Commander of Papal. Nope, nope, you're incorrect again. Know your Italian geography, man. Quick and shrewd, that's an equivalent to genius. But too old. Tall but chaste. Because I wish it was someone like Raffaele's mother. Imposing and strong. Whoa. Imposing and strong. In other words, Gambar Moscow will kick you. Wow. This generation of females is looking good in most areas. Of contact, at least. A tall, attractive, but slow. Turn off. Oh, weak, agile, but tiny. Not gonna live long. With that combination. Oh, good lord. No, I don't think her name is pronounced violent. It could be Violente? She's of a Parthian culture. Arpitan culture? I don't know where they're from. Out of curiosity, what culture group is that? Latin. Brabant. Okay, but we know who the winner is. The one who is to be betrothed to my son was originally going to be Mattia. It's going to be her. Semiramide. It's from Mansa, Bulgaria. But of course, this is not somebody from the Merchant Republic, so you're going to have to pay up. Because marrying a woman as noble will require a bride price of 100. You're of close age. Yeah, you're both the same age. 14, all that. Don't mind me, alright? Thank you very much. I don't know what education you're receiving, but it doesn't seem like they're giving anything to you. To help the Republic strive, the most influential families in the Council suggest should help further the interests in cultural as well as religious matters in our beloved city by donating a paltry amount of my personal treasury. Oh god, how much? 43. Good. Regarding my smuggling operation, I was informed that a stolen cargo worth of fortunes waited to be transferred abroad to be sold to a third party as soon as possible. Unfortunately, my spy master is taking care of other matters, so I don't know when I can lead a whole mission. I hope so. There are rumors of foreign operations to catch us. I'm still deceitful. I'm still brave. Yes. A master schemer. There's a very good chance of that happening. But I don't have the combat rating right now. I'll get that money as soon as possible. 1%, so we may never know. Success! I've managed to transport a very valuable cargo abroad and transfer associated with success. I commanded everything with expertise, and as with deep satisfaction I see the admiration from men for my deed. Better yet, my treasury is now full. We're out of debt now. We always get ourselves out of a sticky situation. Alright, who are you? Heir to the Doge Benevento. You brought your whole family over here, didn't you? The old man? This, Avar woman? This guy? And his child. Oh, don't make a habit out of it. Court's half full. She's cynical, dour, erudite. It's fine. And only married for the traits, and plus its potential to have a bunch of smart children in future. So best of luck. Well, remember who the court tutor is. She's the teacher of the country. So if I were you, I know they tell you to take intrigue, but do we need any more? Actually, yes. Women can be spy master if they're your wife, so go for that. Go get him, Tagger. Norsemen in Italy. If I had my druthers, I would put a stop to them. They've taken it over. They've looted that area and conquered it too. If you were fighting a holy war to get that area, I would help you. I don't have the forces right now, but give me at least 500 gold and hire mercenaries and I'll take care of these Norsemen and get that land back for you. Now it's no longer March 20th, it's now October 31st is when we will be the new day of when you get your income from the piracy. My rest to retreat did wonders on my mind. I feel relaxed. Paced more with myself. Time to return my duties. Forget about the conversion ambition. Maybe perhaps just win one more war before the day I finally go. But this time you're bringing a retinue with you. If I even live that long. I just gotta get rid of the fat and then I'll be more than welcome. Still haven't lost the fat trade yet. But again, you're the one that's disfigured. Okay, Florence has decided to go for the Holy War against that area. Yeah, you got a lot of forces. You're a big country right next door. I highly doubt he's got any more friends back there. So Florence could be our big ally as a deterrent against the HRE if they want those lands back knowing he lost them all. But right now he's a weak emperor. Can be inherited by his successor. But again, they do not do... Okay, they do. Excuse me. They do princely elective. Yeah. Anyways. Excuse me. Mind if we help you out here? So I could, you know, while they go that way, we'll try to... Well, I don't know. Their garrisons are very weak. You could handle this on your own, can't you? I mean, look at you. You're eager to fight another war, knowing you're going to get killed out there. I mean, after all, they only got my face, not my hand or leg. That is severe stress. I need a new guy. Give me a bureaucrat. You'll do. thinking just collect as much taxes as possible. But I think it's better to improve the domain, you know, for the prosperity and all that. So don't worry, Florence can handle it. March 20th. Okay, March 20th and 31st, there's our Paris yearly revenue. Now they're going to work. Like, boom times ahead. Money will flow freely. Oh, you used to live up there? From Wallis? I mean, we've always had issues with a couple of kidnapped your relative and all that. What, fortunately the man's an imbecile, but force is still too powerful. As I woke up this morning. Yep, woke up this morning. Got myself a gun. My hands and feet were bleeding. I was sharp pain in my side. What is happening to me? Now listen, I never claimed to be a firm believer in God, but I think after fighting against the Muslims for the defense of the country, I think I am a believer now. I've been blessed by God. I am a believer. Maybe Father was right long ago. Oh, who's that? Etheling Alfred. It's recently arrived in Amalfi, foreign presumed silver. My lord, I'm on a campaign to take the rightful titles from the Kingdom of Wessex from King Adolf II. With your blessing, wish to raise support here of Amalfi. Alfred the Just, Alfred the Great, as he's known as historically. So, so this is the host. Wants to get his land back. He may recruit in Amalfi. We're nice, hospitable people. You can recruit here. Just live in one of the villas here. We're open to foreigners. I'll be willing to do that all the damn time. Yearly sum paid. I'm happy to note that the Dukes of, Savannah sent me to agree to use sums to that loan. Yes, the man who won the revolution for the justice of most Italians. Especially Florence, which possibly one day might become the new kingdom of Italy, if it expands more. It all sounded another one of our delusions. I had to agree she invited me to dinner or food, but I had not tasted. You need my help and you'll get it. Yeah, we ought to be careful for that next time. The Norsemen were raiding Loritello originally, and then they decided to conquer it and make it their own. And now they're being driven out. And and now you are in our land of a culture, and it's Catholic still, as of everywhere else. So what would happen to that guy now? Who now has this territory? He'd gone back to where he once came, I assumed. So this is why we need to increase the defenses of Amalfi. Whenever our forces get too low, we're vulnerable from Viking attacks. They may want to come to the Republic one day, because we're starting to become more prosperous. And those Vikings who sail around the Mediterranean are going to look at it and say, this looks prosperous. We need to be thinking more about that. invest more in the defenses of this country, especially here, which is our permanent residence. Like building these mustery grounds here for more light infantry and archers, and slight increase in retinue size will do. Yet another strong basilisk. A genius at that, and a lunatic. Great. Oh boy. But it all depends on Imperial Elective, of course. You'll be one for stewardship because you got the most out of it. Here comes October 31st. Another yearly piracy yearly revenue. I get it twice a year. Oh my goodness. Thanks to a target-rich environment as well as celebrated capture of cargo of gold and gems, it almost tripled the amount of income. Alrighty. Whenever I die, at least I'll die rich. But don't forget, your treatment's coming up this April. We gotta invest. Should invest in hospitals. Something we should have done long ago. Also, Merchant Enclave, knowing that we're going to be living here again. So, small enclave established by traders from all over the region in order to conduct trade. And since we're going to be having more adult male members in the coming years, there's going to be an increase in the trade post limit. Lost the money. Well, at least it was money well spent. Already you have a child. That was quick. Serena Hilt. That's quite a name. And look at you. You're groomed. No wonder why she fell for you. Good looking man, huh? As time goes by, it becomes more and more difficult for me to keep my training in personal combat. My reflexes are not the same. My energy is failing me. Everything gets on trappings of old age. Yeah, I'm too old for this anymore. Captain, one of my trade galleys fished out of the water by ship working for Constantine's family last week. Starved and half mad from scurvy, the captain reports his crew mutinied and tossed overboard. Seemed to decide a life on piracy. Can't say I blame him because that's where the money is. Apulia is under attack. Apulia, Grano, Papacy, Croatia, Swabia will be there. That's quite far. Even have a renegotiation on aggressive pact with Svithield? Oh, they've gone Catholic. Well, at least we don't have to join that war. But they're stepping up. Again, they want Apulia. That's a big territory. Cannot afford to lose that. Well, they're Greek Catholics, so they may join. So they're coming for the aid. Should we join one last time? I don't have the combat skill like I used to, but I have the gout and everything. rather tempting to raise forces again. I'm still brave. Cool, but especially zealous. They increased a little bit of martial. May never know, I'll become a holy warrior one day, but... Oh yeah, what'd you get? Elusive Shadow. Okay, you'll be the Spy Master in future, if you be a good boy. Should we really help them out? Maybe, but only to take a look where they are map-wise. We need to keep tabs. See, is it worth sending troops over there? Oh, hell. Oh, don't worry. Reinforcements will be arriving there. Just don't get captured. Because if you do get captured in battle, that would be the end of Apulia. And then that means Muslims are back in the boot. On the heel. And then we're going to have to fight a couple more holy wars against them. Because those southern Italian wars are deadly. Surprised you haven't joined Florence. And you've been excommunicated. You know what that means. If you want, excommunicated will get you more prestige and piety if you were to win that, but that's only if you're to that sort of thing. It was bound to happen. And he didn't have time to set up for a, you know, and all that. It was a long time coming. We accepted this death. Moros is not a protoduc of the great Republic of Amalfi. So I could say as Doge Mansone was given up to the ghost at the age of 62. Good run. He died of complications related to gout. Known to be gluttonous. He spent his days trying to sate his animal appetite, because he was a fat man. A wicked life. A wicked man. He will pay for his sins in the afterlife, surely, but let me tell you something. Doge Mansone made a republic great. But the one thing he was certain, he was never a cynic. But near the end of his life, he became zealous. The war changed him, realizing that perhaps there is some purpose to this. And that was for the defense of Italia. And now, since Doge Mansone's last order was to join the war, to fight against the Maghrebi Sultanate, the homeland calls again. The Italian homeland calls again. But now, Archon Raffaele. Again, we're using Greek terms. Because we had Doge, now we got a Proto-Archon running things here, and now we got an Archon. Using Greek terms. Raffaele. He's 15 years old, but in late October he will be 16. And he will be a man of martial. He's a genius. He's groomed, he's diligent, he's patient. He's also a trained diplomat. But who knows what he could be. Hopefully not dull. Because that would undermine, well, what it could have potentially. So this will be a short-term regency. Not old enough to hold to do Lent. I don't have the money to write a book, which I would. Not old enough to do that, but I can do a smuggler operation. Going against the will of the council be seen as an act of tyranny for joining a man's war? Well, technically we're already at a state of war, so you're already involved. The question is, will they raise their levies? The answer is yes. And he hired some mercenaries along the way. Duty calls. But the question is, before we even get everything set up and all that, knowing that Mansone's last orders was defend Italia to Apulia. And we will do it. That's the reason why Croatia's there. Papal States are there. Florence, not yet, but we never know. But they're being excommunicated right now, so they probably... He's got his hands full. And also, hopefully, the HRE influence will fade away from there, as they have no border connections with the... Actually, they still do, through those channels. Just give them a chance. Just get people in the council. Ah, yes. Of course. You'll have it. Oh, I don't want this possessed man. This is my master. You may be absent-minded, but Urso, Uncle Urso, you will be mysticals. Good old Robin, you'll be the Prostrator. Steward and Chancellor is lacking, but hey, how long were you in for? Got any money? Very little. Are you any good, talent-wise? Plus 10. Your base is... Oh, let me release you from prison. Sorry for that misunderstanding. 1 sec. 7. Okay, you'll be the Chancellor. Consider this as your reward. Well, as for her... does not have a region. Oh, son of a beeswax. Well, hope you survived the dungeon. Well, just release her. Just release her. Sister? But now we're only missing a Sacalarius. We're only missing that one. Oh, forgot. And hide the Bible decisions. I'm not composing a Bible yet. If I have a lot of money, I would. Just give me a bureaucrat. Anyone will have to do. We're just gonna have to wait it out till you grow up. Could make the pass. That man's too dangerous to be around anymore. He needs to be expelled. Never to be seen again. So he's gone to the Papal States. And you need to end their plot. My mysticals also reports that a heretical sorcerer is caught and jailed in the city of Neapolis. It's where we live, after all. The sorcerer has apparently healed various ailments afflicting other prisoners. Though he is scheduled for execution at noon, I could pardon him and bring him to my employ. What is he? Fraticelli. We've seen that around here. Most unorthodox, but I do need a decision. Glad everybody's getting up on him, including... Yes, a favor will do. Which I need that for money, as per usual. Gotta get it somewhere. While casually strolling around the premises as one often do, I come across Anna sitting at her desk, overburdened with her work. I see this great opportunity to help out to gain a favor in return, but to my surprise, she now refuses my help and has the nerve to insult me for it. She's the mystic Urso of Amalfi. Good luck at that work of yours. You won't prosper. Happy to note that Duke Serafino Silvana said we'd agree yearly sum pay for the loan. Excellent. Large Croatian forces will soon be fighting against them since they're currently besieging the area. My wife just died. I did not know she was delicate. It's disappointing. Not even adult yet. Agile and tall. Taking a martial education. You know you can't get that. As much as I'd like to have more genius children, but you can't win all. Actually, go for the age, start from 14. You may find one. I think it might as well be her. This one, Lord's a pedestrian. Because she's perceptive and ambidextrous, may never know if children will pick up those traits along with possibly genius from me. And she's currently stressed, but I hope I can help her out with that. Have to pay the bride price of 100. For the money. At least you're attracted to me to them groomed. %, ward score. Everything will be alright. Revoke. Revolt. They continue to try to beat each other up for this. As local leaders of Neapolis state their complaints, I take notes and write a list, diligently address those concerns in due time. It always pays off to have plain conversation with people with direct knowledge of the issues at hand. I might not agree with everything, but at least those who talk to me will understand their opinion matters and things get ultimately done. High stewardship made it serene. Now I'm a brilliant strategist. I like to climb, wrestle, and run. As I grow older, I'm beginning to notice I'm physically stronger than the others. I can equip my sword and armor, but can't get the weapon training now because the combat rate has to be less than 30 unless I don't know, get hurt or something. But it doesn't say not injured, right? Doesn't say. No. But I am also an aspiring leader. I am brawny and also honest. So that's 1, 2, 3 traits. These two are brawny and groomed, so yes. Good looking and strong. Not to mention genius. And a trained diplomat. You'll definitely like me now. So that means we'll go for war focus for a bit. I want to develop combat skills as I never had proper training of it. So forget about weapon training, just go fight a couple of battles yourself. For all that. Put on your armor, put on your sword. No. Smuggler operation's good enough because I have the intrigue for it. It's just an attempt to get it back to the way it was. And also the business focus in Amalfi. Let me see. I'm pretty good at anything, but it seems I'm leading mostly to diplomacy. Because of my honesty. So you should invest in the lemon growers of Amalfi for more prestige. If you want to be the next ruler, you must have a lot of prestige, and that's why I'm out here, to fight to prove to myself. Don't have the money for the book right now. Again, ready to fight whomever I'm going to get involved with. And a decision could come too, since you've got the skill. Wherever the enemy is, we'll be there. Made up in Amalfi. Just some of my forces and the knight's retinue. I need to fight. And we shall. But they'll have the hills advantage. But we'll see if my inspiration can defeat their will. Principato. Hold here. Maybe we can trick them to fighting this way. Nope. But they're going to be receiving more reinforcements, so go around. Head to these area. I'm trying to trick them into coming here. Nod. There's Swabia, one of our friendly forces. Is there a way they don't get me? All of its surrounding counties has got a river crossing that goes towards Melfi. Crud. But Sultan's not there anymore. But let's do it, even though... Yes, I lead the knight's retinue, and then you got the rest of you with you. It's a small force, but if we fail to dislodge it, then I will admit it's my own fault. It's just... want to learn and improve myself in combat. But if I get somehow wounded, then it's just a part of the learning curve. This war, this opportunity to prove my mettle in combat has opened my eyes to my true potential as a warrior. My combat skills are improving. May God guide my heart, hand, and steel. It is one of those normal social times that I decided to accept an invitation for a social outing with Odeo on Pazzoli. And everything seems to be ordered. There's some idle talk, then invited to go to a discreet place. He's a rather shy guy. There's something odd here, perhaps. If this were a murder attempt, base chance of killing him are lower than if he was unaware. I could check the suspect for traits that might increase or decrease the likelihood of murder. So, what is he? He's, not rough, not cruel. He's envious. Not arbitrary, not a lunatic, not paranoid, not possessed, not even an assassin. Not a rival. He hasn't killed anybody yet. Huh. His opinion is kind of up a bit. He is. No need to jump the gun here. It was an uneventful afternoon in the company of Urso, so for small talk it could be bored sometimes. And tomorrow's another day. I'll go. Too much room here. Free investiture law? I like the sound of that. That means secular bishops. I mean, talking about bishops that can pay the taxes to secular rulers. Oh, large smuggler operation. Now we're in work. Defeat him here. They approved. I've learned many lessons from this battle. Aside from the application of theoretical tactics my mentors taught me as a boy, I learned to deftly isolate an opponent in the thick of the front, bring all my focus and concentration to bear upon them, and then, but within a few rounds of melee, swiftly execute him. Part of my clear progression to a greater warrior. Still, I have more lessons to learn. And yes, I will be your commander. Take up commission. Begin your march home. 100% ward score. Right. Will you cut it out? War's over. It's going to take quite some time to recover, since you have a very high martial skill, and that means, you know, yes, this area was heavily recruited. Of course, the Republic of liability will be a problem. Not enough taxes. Levy size of castle. At least those hospitals have been built. You gain a nice amount. And now I serve as the commander of Amalfi, leading troops in Bizet. That's where I'm at now. Oh, yes, you're working. Of court physician, Mordecai bursts to my stay. Archon, you've been up all night again. Would it be in your best interest not to work so hard, lest you shall collapse from exhaustion? I'm gonna need diligence. The realm never rests, and neither shall I. Happy that pay me that loan. As promised. Okay, he's gone clinically. It's the same. Don't make me come across diseased territory. Two uncles are grown up now. So there's 2 adult male members of court currently. You know, perhaps that we should save up money for this. The cook had prepared a magnificent meal with lots of different fruits, various kinds of meat, and plenty of freshly baked bread and several mature cheeses. I satisfied my hunger with bread and water. Didn't pick up a trait. Don't worry. You've joined the Benedictine order. Good. It's good to know that you're... I was idly reading a book about historical events in ancient times. Suddenly, when I came across a particular section, disjointed images and scenes flashed before my mind, as if I was really there. My servants found me on the ground moments later, having fainted. They were skeptical when I described what happened. But the feelings of sadness, joy, hatred, love, I felt all that. Was I really there in the past? What am I here now? I had a mysterious vision of the past. Holy... my goodness. Not a lunatic. It's just, who is that vision truly from some past life? Huh. What I was trying to say was, remember, you must observe Lent every year. I keep hearing weird buzzing noise all at the same time. It's very subtle though, and I barely hear it. Doesn't really bother me much. But Sunday makes me wary. None of my physicians have been able to figure out what's the issue. Probably nothing serious, right? Hearing buzzing noises. Don't know where they're coming from. There's something screwy going on here. Any man is welcome here. Retinue's full. And since you're pretty handy at intrigue, can't seize the trade post because there's reasons for it. Unless you want to go to war for the trade posts, like one in Amalfi. Imagine that. Wait, you did say you want to prove your common skill, but taking a trade post from others that deserve more? I mean, look how valuable Amalfi is. The villas, the Imperial Road, and all that. Kind of really want that, but he doesn't like me very much, and he's zealous to the Orthodox faith. Gotta be honest with you. Any money is good money for the family. And one day invest that money into the campaign fund. But we should have a catacombs. These catacombs located far beneath the palace contains dynastic tombs. Here countless generations dating back centuries are joined in eternal slumber. May they rest in peace. This is for a marshal. You know what, prepare for that possible conflict. I want part of that. Just gotta get the levy size and reinforcement faster. Again, it's good to see Florence, a strong Italian state. But unfortunately, he's a terrible human being. Somebody should stop him for excommunication. Perhaps need to negotiate an alliance with somebody. We never know. Maybe Croatia, since they've been having good relations with any state. But he's gouty, so you may want to ask the next man in line. So you should start get to know him. Limited Crown Authority? Sure. I'm not gonna like you for it, but still. I don't think it's good for it. Being noble birth means nothing. To the dungeons with him. You need to get that prestige up. It's for the respect. Oh, they're at it again. Al-Aghlabi's at it again. Capua, Silvana, Gatis joined. And I will too. But I'll tell you what. If Amalfi doesn't join, I will. I will join. Because I have a lot to prove. They tried Salerno, they failed. They tried Apulia, they failed. Now they will try Capua, which is a big part. And I'm sure the papacy, Florence will join too, and anyone else. They're gathering together. We must stand together. And that's what I said. If you don't join, I will. Need another commander for this. No, no Craven. Because you might cost us a battle. Ah yes, Uncle Urso, Uncle Alo. You're with me. Need another retinue in future reference. So now I'll stick with the center despite what the direct leader says. You're going on this flank and you'll have this one. Defend Capua. Papacy's joined, so is Gatia, as we are. Wherever they may land in the Gulf of Naples sea zone. That's the reason why they're able to launch attacks that way. And how to get around that is beyond me. It's truly an honor to have you here for a while. I'll be sure to negotiate an alliance with Croatia when needed. They brought mercenaries. They're only using forces from Sicily itself. But I don't want to go out there this way because I'll be caught off guard. But if they do commit by using this route, well then 58 ships. That's gotta be the main force. Yes, they are. It's only naval landing. But they have the... we don't have the advantage like we used to, because this land here is farmlands. We might be outnumbered. But I ain't scared. Do you think I should really have a beard? Because, you know, that groomed appearance. I mean, if you're groomed, you gotta be good looking. No need to make yourself look older than you appear. I think I would prefer a facial hair, just like grandfather. It's said to be a handsome man. A genius. Gotta keep that youthful appearance. If I wasn't so groomed, I would have facial hair. Depending on occupation, education, of course. One thing's for certain. If this area falls, fall back to Amalfi. And more of these are forest areas that are much more defendable than here. That's gotta be a large force in there. There's gonna be no relief in sight. Because they decide to commit themselves. Anytime you want. But I'll do my part. Oh, we are terribly outnumbered. Scarcely believe it possible. The pregnancy has made my wife Tranquilla look even more beautiful than she already was. Whenever we're in the same room, I can hardly take my eyes off of her. She's with child. I should not look at her this way. We can't hold it. Withdraw. Up to the hill. Up to the forest. Despite our order to withdraw, I will remember this battle in its finest detail till the end of my days. The Lord guided my sword into the hearts of countless number of my foes, raising cheers and battle cries from my surrounding men as I cut path through the enemy. My mastery of personal combat has come a long way. Apparently I'm not the only one who thinks so. I am finally a warrior. But still a novice warrior, keep in mind. As I'm, you know, I understand the basics of combat, but is sloppy, overconfident, and inexperienced. But I'm inspiring. But I know when to withdraw. When ordered. I'd like to become a trained fighter, as I have a meager education in the art of personal combat. I want to change that through combat experience. All of our forces got killed. Yeah, you're gonna need a new retinue. And a new army. You were definitely outnumbered. No, don't care about him. Well, we might have a setback. You've just committed your forces to there, and they're in Capua. If they establish a foothold here, that's going to cause chaos. But I learned a lot in combat. We were overconfident. Offense or defense? That is the question. Well, based on what we know, be unyielding. Will stubbornly fight to his last breath, compelling his men to do the same while refusing to yield an inch. Solid rock breaks that best steel, and my men will be that rock. Next time, we will be stronger. Croatia has joined the war. And the Papal States have too. Do not concern yourself about the war anymore. Focus on your family. It is a good tradition to have some gossips around a pregnant woman in order to keep her calm, distracted from the tribulations of this delicate time of life. As Tranquilla's husband, it is my duty to provide her with the support she needs. She needs familiar faces around her. A poet is reciting a tale about a historical event long ago before me and an audience. I realize he just made a mistake, and there are some inaccuracies in retelling of what happened. Oh dear, it could be anything. I am an honest man, so I'll say correct him. True history is more interesting. Military reforms. Against the will of the ever-conservative religious authorities, the Great Robin, my protostrato, has been planning vast changes on the way my troop movements are staged and determined. Better equipment will be assigned to them, and a logistics system will be implemented if these plans come to fruition. I could expect a significant increase in military tech in my domains. You're willing for me to throw a lot of money, do you? So we can have martial reforms with faster movement speed. So we will have that new approach. Verona will be there too. Yes. Oh yeah. Should fight for a trade post in future. What are you... Oh, they're going through address. They're just gathering us together. Now they're on the attack. Ah, sickly. You shall be named Leone. You know that. Grandfather told me about this great-grandfather of mine who was like a saint to us, but Pope never called him a saint. But please save my son. They can't hold him. That's gonna be problematic. As tradition, my wife Tranquilla underwent her churching after recovering and cleansing herself of recent pregnancy. Unfortunately, her mood was not improved by taking a Holy Communion. Perhaps some old sin still weighing on her soul. I'm sure I can calm her down. Whatever treatment that he administered worked. He's much better and appears to be no different than other children of his age. God be praised for our good fortune. Gonna have you expelled if you keep her up like that. Despite all the reinforcements and the effort. Boom times ahead. Oh well. If we lose Capua, their presence here would be most unwelcome. There will be holy wars, and whomever starts it, I will support it. Oh, not now. Give me cash now. One day I gotta get a new retinue. Start all over again. But Croatian forces will be there. I should dislodge them. I can't fall asleep quickly at night. I just can't. There's so many distracting noises. Night guards walking around. Animals outside making noises. Things I think inside my head. When will it stop? I think I just figured out a way to make an earplug. After all, I'm a genius. There's always solutions to this. They're gathering together. Take that land back. If they capture that child during the siege, and they didn't, you still not anything, God. Because if they captured him, war's over. The new king of Croatia. When they're ready for attack, I'm willing to raise my forces, and I want to be there too. Prince Bakar is a dangerous one. Over 600 camel cavalry. I feared that the Republic of Amalfi might be the next target. Okay, they started the attack, but that was suicidal. Can't wait any longer. I gotta do something about this. Take your usual positions. Wait until Croatia's movement is locked. We'll be there soon. We almost work together. May the Blessed Virgin guide my heart, hands in steel. Pirate raid. I'll organize fleet to attack the pirates. Alright, martial skill should do it. The naval action stood against the pirate fleet went well enough. Casualties were inflicted, it suffered in the end. Pirate fleet withdrawal to raid less dangerously. It managed to diminish the effects of pirate raid in both Ponce and the last time. So for 2 years it's been raided here. I stood my water. Damn, we weren't able to capture. Tough. Some forces that just landed here by boat. Well, they're not welcome here. When we recapture the port, they're going to get kicked out of there. As we lie both awake in bed and after a night of lovemaking, my tranquilla came close to my ear, whisper, request I cause a shiver up my spine. Out of thin air, supposed to take the role of Raffaele, my marshal, the very part of the council. Deep, wet, kissful desire pointedly underscores their appeal for positive answer. So, you want to be the grand domestic? People are going to shun me for that for 10 years if I were to do that. Shun me from my family members of the council and all that. But they don't like the idea of a female councillor. But who's going to say? That's for people all over the world. But after all, I like how she looks. Don't have that harmony, but I'm very supportive, and she'll be sexually aroused for it if you wish to have more children. Position is yours, my darling. She's a grand domestic. She took Robin's position. Not ideal, but it'll do. You're a veteran, Commander. Need you up here. Sorry about this. But, hey. They're coming back here. You know she can't lead an army, but if I was to give her something, I'll teach her to be unyielding. Yeah, it's been removed. It was a little mistake. My dear Archon, permit me to remind your obligations and duties of my sworn vows. To form a conspiratorial faction would be a direct violation of these. I must ask if I was never to do so. Yes, enough lies and scheming. Gata's here. Of us. Female counselor, what am I thinking? Huh? Now what are you gonna do about it? Try to attack us, you'll be crossing the river. They're attacking head on. They're gonna get together and they're gonna get us. It's just us. No matter what happens, this is a defensive battle. I've learned a lot. Learned my lessons. Only 8 reinforcements. The Sultan is there. We're failing it. Combined strength couldn't defeat him. None of you got captured? Good. Well, back to the drawing board. Apulia now joins. Here comes the Papal fleet. They may make a mistake for this. Maybe, maybe. No, Papal forces didn't get it. What is wrong with you people? Conserve your strength. Fighting up with the forests and river crossing there. So they'll try to inflict some casualties, but their skill in battle is just... Oh god, you think the Croats were probably in some battle and just died. Man, the Maghrebi-Italian wars have been costly. That's what we're calling these series of wars, the Maghrebi-Italian wars. And I fear Amalfi will be next, if we're not careful. It's gonna take a while to get back up to full strength. As I said, female cancer. What the hell was I thinking? I ought to give Robin his position back after this war. Because we need our levies to get up to full strength. And then once we're done with that, then we'll fight for other people's trade posts. And then eventually win enough prestige and respect that I will be elected the next Doge. And also be seen as pious too. You need to start thinking like a true Christian. For the good of the Republic, to donate. And I'll be sure to write a book on a martial themed book. Because some knowledge is needed. Based on my experiences in combat. But you know what? I will choose a patron saint. And there is one that I do know that can help me. The Blessed Virgin Mary. For a higher morale of armies. Dedicated to Saint Mary. They're taking all their ships and they're gonna go. Genoa has joined. Armies from all over the Mediterranean, and they're still there. Unbelievable. And they call him the monster. Also, once this war is over, we will end the episode. And I fear his next target when he gets the strength back up will either be Geta or Amalfi. Why has Amalfi not joined? It's your neighbor. And instead, he's living a decadent lifestyle. I should observe Lent. I shall observe all that is required as a Christian. No need to get yourself malnourished. Thank you very much. Forgive me, Father, I've sinned. Sinned because I didn't do enough. I've been learning well in combat, but despite all our efforts, let us celebrate for once. It's just we didn't do good enough to defeat the enemy that's still in Italia. Need them to get them out of there. That is not a proper look of a pope. He's a wicked priest. Oh, oh Lord. I'll get him to be less slothful when I'm around. Widespread rumors say that the Pope Stefan is the most wicked lifestyle, quite unsuitable for any priest, even more so one for his exalted position. Gotta pray for his eternal soul. Clearly there is something wrong with that man. So, yes, let's rescue him. I got some good intrigue, but Spy Master? Or so, yeah, let's rescue him. Let's give it a shot. Papal forces coming in. Want to join. Yeah, the gauntlets are off. We'll be there in 16 days. This is going to be my battle. And then... yes, take a river crossing penalty. Less than the penalty that the Papal States will be receiving. We don't know what degree of reinforcements that they'll be sending over. Verona and Genoa are there. We don't know how much that they're going to be sending, actually. I mean, they did bring the Papal Guards out. There's the Pope himself. And I'm in here somewhere. Try to give him a... where's the sun? This campaign's been easy picking. Swinging my sword through the farmlands is a pleasure. My fellow soldiers equally jovial, surrounded by the blood of our Maghrebi enemies, and the cries about, "Look, our enemy commander Sheikh Ammar is hiding." Someone suddenly shouts, pointing off the distance. How lovely! I shall duel the commander myself. My sword at Patrician Mansone gleamed, and the light of wind blew gently across my face. I moved carefully and brought my sword at Patrician Mansone down upon him. He fended off the first blow, but not the second. Left them lying on the ground, and went to celebrate my victory. Was he one of its main commanders then? No, perhaps he was one of the sub-commanders. Yes, him. He was just one of the sub-commanders, but no mercy. Everything is just in a war. First kill. Yeah, I killed a man. I killed a man. And now, due to my bloody face, in the middle of the battle. Can't you see I'm fighting out here, son? So he's pulling my arm, pleading to play with his latest toys. Completely oblivious to all the important work I'm in the middle of. Like in the middle of a battle. But I neglect my responsibilities for his sake. But have to be kind here. Not a cold-blooded killer. Our ongoing struggle outside of us is one of the best of our military strategies. One of them is a Langobard veteran with a penchant of innovation. He suggested he should retire from the battlefront and return to Neapolis to continue his work, safe from flying arrows. There's always more room for talent. But I would say, nonsense. We need every resource available here at the front. Join the court. We captured a prisoner. He is the son of Saldan. Aha, the man that held Apulia briefly. Yeah, I know. Wish we could recruit him, but... However, the opinion difference is they like each other too much. That man is of semblance. And this other man? Just a peasant rule. Was formerly peasant rule. We'll be taking this territory back, and then we shall win the war. They hold Rochester Capua prisoner. From Venice. So I say, go ahead with the plan. Asking Venice for something. Oh, crud. The rescue mission ended in disaster. One man we were rescuing was slain by an enemy agent, evading from prison. Unfortunately, some operators paid their life between an attempt. Also, point to my involvement in the rescue. That was from the Prince Bishopric of Salzburg. He doesn't know. No, he doesn't. So this war was practically a stalemate to have this continuing on. So white peace. Now we must return and for the love of God, recover. Killed my first man. But some more talented people needed. And now I'm a respected commander. But I have many more battles to fight in the coming episodes for this series as things have been taken to a militarily turn. This is no longer about money and criminal activity. And no doubt, the wars between us will continue. When he recovers, they know he'll be back. He's relentless. Who knows where he'll strike next? He couldn't get Capua, couldn't get Salerno. Is Apulia going to be his next target? Is Getia going to be next target? Is Geta next target? Or possibly, heaven forbid, Amalfi. Who knows? Or even possibly Sardinia, in which we do not have a fleet. Actually, we do. It's 59 ships. That's a little more than... You could transport an entire force to Sardinia when called for. Wherever they attack, we will join. So he has proven himself to be a novice fighter and a respected commander. And we hope for more good things out of him in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.